As we continue. However, the city of Cape Town is trying to resolve homelessness. One woman is on a mission to help those on the street survive the winter. So joining me now is Mandisa Khanyile from Rise Up Against Gender-Based Violence. Thank you so much, Mandisa, for joining us this evening. You know, it's so interesting when you're looking at what's been said by the city of Cape Town, particularly. I think it was one such J.P. Smith was speaking about how the homeless have been provided for and they've been given resources to assist them to get off the streets. Obviously, this coming into question around the issues of finding. But are you experiencing that is actually the fact and the truth on the ground?
What essentially happens is that there's over 200,000 homeless persons in South Africa. And in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of homeless shelters, it just is not sufficient for the amount. Right. What happens is also that people have to pay to actually sleep at shelter. So it's not a free service. A homeless person pays 360 rand per month to sleep in a homeless shelter.
The look on my face, I think, just says it all, because I had absolutely no idea that it's not free.
It's not free.
So the whole time that the city is saying that they provided shelters for the homeless and resources from the homeless, they provided resources and shelters for the homeless at a cost?
Yes. It's 360 rand per month, and that's the minimum, sorry. So I'm just giving you a general figure.
That's just the minimum?
Yeah. Okay. Some do go above. That gives you 2 meals a day. You may only check in after 4 o'clock, so you have to see yourself throughout the course of the day. It's only a night shelter. And those are the facilities that are available. So there's no place for the homeless to go or do anything during the day, even if they've paid for that particular facility. Now let's talk about those that don't have the 360. They're on their own, on the streets. There's no one to assist them. There's no feeding scheme programs for them. It's only NGOs that decide that they're going to bring it upon themselves to do that. But there's no meals available, there's no warm beds, there's nothing. And then what they're doing as a deterrent in most of the cities is that they're burning the blankets of the homeless. The city of Joburg is doing that, Tshwane municipality is doing that, and Cape Town is also doing it.
Why are they burning blankets?
And Durban, sorry. They're saying that it's a way to encourage them to go back home. Yes, in the middle of winter, they're burning people's blankets to encourage them to go back home. That's what's currently happening. And this is sanctioned and is happening according to bylaws and being implemented by municipal police across urban areas around the country.
So would you say that, and I'm not taking away from the city of Johannesburg as well as Tshwane, because you're saying that this is also happening in Johannesburg as well as Tshwane, but then in your experience, are you saying that the city of Cape Town, as we would have seen them report, is actually lying to people?
Look, I wouldn't say that they're lying, because they did allocate funding towards those night shelters. But as I said, they mustn't lie and say that that's a free service, because that's not. And it's not an available service to every homeless person. As I said, the infrastructure just isn't enough for the demand. Understand that you're not just dealing with displaced persons, you're dealing with persons with mental illness. You're dealing with drug addicts that have been kicked out of their homes. And over and above that, you're dealing with a lot of migrant workers who have found themselves in homeless situations. So there just isn't enough infrastructure to accommodate everyone. So for them to pretend that there isn't a workable solution for the homeless, and the homeless are the ones that want to stay on the street, is a lie.
Would you say that government has lost its humanity?
Definitely. I think that the fact that there are countries around the world that have managed to deal with the situation, there's so many abandoned buildings that are owned by government, so many, that could be converted into temporary facilities for persons just to have a warm place to sleep overnight. We'll see what they do during the day, but at least for that particular purpose. And they haven't done that. It took a serial killer targeting people in Tshwane for them to actually give them one of the abandoned factory outlets. It's always been there. But only when a serial killer was going around killing homeless people did they actually avail that facility. So that shows to me that there's zero political will, and they actually don't care about the plight of the homeless.